Alright, welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're in the market for a mid-size family sedan, you probably know there's a lot of good competition out there with cars such as the Honda Accord, Toyota Camry, the two top contenders for a number of years, really good cars, and the Hyundai Sonata. Today we're going to be doing a review of the 2021 Hyundai Sonata. And you know, when I was looking at the different reviews out there, most of them are covering the upper trim levels, like the limited, hybrids, the trim levels that give you a lot of features and are the higher priced ones. But I was wondering, can you really get a good value with a lot of features at the lower level, more toward the base model? And that's what we're going to look at today. This is an SEL trim, and we're going to see just how much value you can get in a good family sedan today. So for a little bit of history on this particular version of the Sonata is the 8th generation that came on the market in 2020. The 8th generation of Hyundai's flagship mid-size sedan came out in 2020. It's available in several different trim levels, starting from the SE, which is the basic, the SEL, which is this one. Then you've got the SEL Plus, the Limited, the hybrids, of course, and you've got the N line, which is the sport version. So this version is what's called the SEL. So let's first start at the front. The highlight of the front of the car is, of course, the huge grille on this. You know, it's kind of like a love it or leave it kind of style. A lot of people don't like this style grille. I've seen it referred to online as the catfish grille because it almost kind of does resemble a catfish. It's kind of interesting, but it does stand out as the most prominent feature of the front. The base model is going to get just a flat black grille. This is a gloss black, which is on the SEL trim and up. Well, the other prominent feature, and the one that I find most interesting, is the lights. On all trim levels of the Sonata, you are going to get LED low beams, LED high beams, automatic low beam lights, and high beam headlight assist, which is basically automatic high beams, and daytime running lights. This strip here is your daytime running light and your turn signal. Of course, you can't see it right now. When the car is off, it's just a chrome strip that goes up here and around the lights. But when the car is on, this chrome strip becomes the LED daytime running light. You can see right here where the dividing line is, right up here. This lower section is going to light up and it's going to fade into this chrome strip, and it's going to light up around here, and you do get amber turn signals, of course, but they're hidden when they're not being used. This is all your daytime running light up here. What they've done is they've concealed the daytime running lights in the trim of the car, which is really a clever way of concealing it. This trim piece is the anchor of the side design of the car. It starts here at the headlights, at the front grille, starts at the headlight, it goes up over the hood, it goes across the belt line, all the way to the back window, goes around the windows, back up and over, and back around to the front mirrors. Now moving down a little bit lower on the front end, in the front you've got some fake looking vents in the front there, but these over here, I want to point out, these vents over here on the side are not fake. These are real air vents that go through to the wheel, and what that does is it helps to direct the airflow coming around the front of the car, directs it through the bumper and to go across the wheel. And what that does is it allows for the brakes to run a little bit cooler, and also to get some aerodynamic flow across the wheels and help the aerodynamics of the car. Also, you'll notice here on the side in the front, there's a side-facing vent. This is not fake either. This is another real air vent, and it does go through, and it allows air that comes around to either go in here, come around, and go in here, and be directed around the wheel. So these are a couple of really good touches that you see a lot of times on more expensive cars. This is built into all Hyundai Sonatas. All Sonatas are going to have aluminum alloy wheels, but each trim level will have its own size and its own style. The base model, the SE, is going to have 16-inch wheels. This is the SEL with 17s. The SEL Plus and the Limited have 19, but the Limited will have its own unique style, and the Hybrid will have its own style wheel. This 17-inch is fitted with 55 series tires, so a good thick sidewall tire for a good ride, good control of bumps. 215/55 is the size, and really for one step above base, it's really an attractive wheel design with your silver machine finish and your darker gray pockets inside there. So I'm really liking these aluminum wheels on this base model. Now, under the hood of the new 2021 Hyundai Sonata, the first thing to notice is that you do get gas struts. You don't have to have a prop rod to hold the hood open. It'll stay open by itself. That's a really cool feature. As far as engines go, the basic engine is a 2.5 liter four-cylinder putting out 190 horsepower, 181 foot-pounds of torque, and it's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, not a CVT, not a dual clutch, regular 8-speed automatic, which is really smooth. The base models will get that. The SEL Plus and the Limited will get a 1.6 liter turbo mated to an 8-speed dual clutch. Not like the 7-speed dual clutch that they used to have. This is an 8-speed wet clutch style. It's all new. It should be a lot smoother than the old one. But those are the only two engine choices you have on the internal combustion gasoline powered. You also have the hybrid, which combines an electric motor with a 1.6 liter with that 1.6 turbo. But on the base model, you're going to get this 2.5 liter four-cylinder, which gives you ample power and a very smooth running transmission. So moving along the side of the body here, we see some of the shapes and triangles and sharp lines that we're seeing on other new Hyundai models. Not too much of that on this one because, again, this is a more conservatively styled family sedan, but we do see a nice crease line over here that extends the entire length of the body. You see another one down here, nice sharp angles down there. Just the two creases that go all the way back, and the top one kind of widens out back here, and this goes all the way back to the door. The larger rocker panels that are somewhat flat is also a pretty cool feature as well, with the gloss black on the SEL trim. And of course you've got your painted mirror caps, turn signal repeaters in the mirror caps. Just a very nice, conservatively styled side view on the Sonata. Now coming around the rear of the car, again we have a more conservatively styled rear. All Sonata models are going to have LED taillights, LED turn signals, and we see the light bar, which is a feature that a lot of the new Hyundais and Kias are being designed in with. Your tail lights are going to start there, and they're going to wrap all the way across the back. Down here on the SEL model and up, you're going to see this real nice gloss black and body colored diffuser that goes all the way across there. The SEL is going to have this twin outlet exhaust. There's a single pipe back there, but it's a twin outlet. The base model won't have that. The base model will have a more basic rear end diffuser here. But on all the other trim levels, you're going to have this real nicely styled diffuser there. The trunk lid does have a built-in, sort of a built-in spoiler. There's no need for any add-on spoilers on any of the Sonata models. The air kind of goes over there. And on these taillights are kind of interesting because the top has what is called in aviation vortex generators. These nubs up on the top here are sometimes found on aircraft wings, and what they do on an aircraft is smooth out the airflow coming over the wing to reduce the turbulence of the airflow from under and over, so it increases the aerodynamic efficiency of an airplane. Well, on a car, this can act as smoothing out the airflow coming over the back and around the side to give you a little bit more aerodynamic efficiency from the corners when you're at highway speeds. So that's kind of a neat feature that they've included here on the top. And for opening, right there you've got your backup camera. For opening the trunk, you've got three choices on these base models. You've got a button on the dash, you've got the button on your key fob, and somewhere here on the trunk, right in the middle of the Hyundai logo, which is a nice way of concealing a button which really doesn't add anything to the aesthetics of the car. So they've done a good job at concealing that. Inside the trunk, it's going to be fully carpeted. You do have 16 cubic feet of trunk space in this car, which is a little bit lower than cars like the Honda Accord, which are going to give you 17 cubic feet. The rear seats are fold down 60/40 with these buttons right here. Just pull this lever, it'll fold the rear seat down. And got your floor mats right there. And you've also got a full-size spare tire underneath the carpeted floor here. So it's a real nicely finished inside trunk. That's a look at the rear. Now let's take a look at the inside. Okay, so we're inside this 2021 Hyundai Sonata. In the back seat, of course, if you're looking for a family sedan, you're going to be interested in what the back seat is like, because you're going to be carrying kids and people and dogs and everything else that you want to carry in the back seat. Well, this car gives you plenty of room in the back. I'm 6 feet tall. I've got the driver's seat adjusted to a 6 foot tall person, and plenty of leg room here. Headroom is good. I've got plenty of room. The door shoulders a little bit high there, but I've got plenty of room. It is seating for 3, but the middle will fold down to an armrest right here in the middle. So that's a good feature to have. Got 2 cup holders in the middle. Now, with this being the SEL trim, you don't get air vents in the rear. Okay, like I said, this is more of a base model, so you don't get rear air vents, and you also don't get rear USB connectors, which you will get if you go up a level in the Sonata models. You'll get 2 air vents, and you'll get 1 USB connector in the back of the console here. But like I said, this is more of a base model vehicle, so you're going to lose that capability. You're also going to get a pocket in the back of the passenger seat, but you don't get one in the back of the driver's seat. And the rear of the seats is fabric, not plastic. But these rear seats are pretty comfortable for a ride, and it definitely feels like a pretty big vehicle inside. This interior is black, but there is a gray interior color available. On these base models, you are going to get a, I guess, a semi-soft touch plastic material up here. This part here is a little softer. These armrests are pretty nicely padded. No problem there. You've got 2 speakers in each door, right down there and up here. And the rest, you've got hard plastic on the rear part, on the lower parts of the door. And again, the trim line, the long running trim line that we see on the outside is also repeated here on the inside with this silver trim that actually becomes the door handle. So the front part of this trim here is the door handle, and it simply goes into the trim going all the way to the back of the door. So very nice job by Hyundai concealing this door handle, which again is one of those features that really doesn't add anything aesthetically to the appearance, but it's nicely concealed and integrated into the overall style of the door. On the instrument panel, you do have hard plastic up on top, but they give you this it's kind of fake stitching right here to make it look a little bit more upscale. I like these narrow air vents. They give you these narrow air vents, a double in the middle and one over here, and then of course you got your glove box in there, more hard plastic there. So it is kind of more of a basic appearance, but very nicely styled. Now let's go take a look at the driver's side and see what the cockpit is like for the driver. All right, so now we're over here on the driver's side, and of course the door panels are the same, but you've got your electric mirror controls and your power door locks underneath that, and your windows, automatic up and down for the driver and passenger. Here on the driver's seat we've got a 6-way power adjustable driver's seat with lumbar support, and the seats are pretty comfortable, I would say. Well, the one thing I think I'm going to have to give Hyundai a thumbs down for is the material that they've used on the seats. It feels like a kind of a cheap fabric material, in my opinion. It's kind of slick up in this area. It feels kind of slick, but then again, it may be easier to clean this type of fabric. But if you go for the SEL Plus and the Limited, you're going to get a different cloth, and leather will also be an option for you on those models. Now, the main feature of the center console of the new Sonata is the push-button shifting. All Sonata trim levels in 2020 and 2021 are going to have push-button shifting. It's a standard feature on all of them. Now, I'm not really a big fan of push-button shifting myself, but I have found it fairly easy to get used to it coming from a regular shift lever. But using an electronic system like this allows you to have a few more functions than you would on a normal system. For example, if you want to put the car in park, you don't actually have to put the car in park. What do I mean by that? Well, let's try this. So the car is running. Okay. So the car is running. We are in drive right now. Drive is lit up. Now, let's say you pull into your parking space and you want to park the car. All you really need to do is hit the engine stop button, like that. It automatically will shift you into park. And that's it. It's done. And it will also engage the parking brake as well. So that's one feature. You also have the drive mode selector right below that. Right here, you can select between normal, custom, sport, smart, and this is on all Sonata trim levels, by the way. The auto hold feature, if you push this in, is this will actually hold the vehicle if you come to a stop at, like, for example, a light or a stop sign. With auto hold, you can take your foot off the brake and the car will hold itself there without moving until you press the accelerator. In the center console, you do have 2 cup holders and a large area up front for your phone. But on these base models, you do not get wireless phone charging. You will need to have a USB cable handy. And also, for your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, it's not wireless. You will need to plug it in again with a USB cable. If you go for the SEL Plus trim and the Limited and the hybrids, you'll get a wireless charging pad right here for your phone. But you'll still have to plug in your phone in order to connect your Android Auto and your Apple to the car's computer. I think they really should offer a wireless connection there because it's much more convenient that way. You get a 12-volt outlet and you get a couple of USB connectors right there up in the front. They are using the gloss black around the shifter, but not around here. They're using this kind of a fake carbon fiber appearance here. And under your armrest, you've got a storage box right in there. So one of the big features of the Hyundai Sonata is going to be the tech that you get. This is the design of your air conditioning and ventilation controls. On the base model SE, it's not dual zone. But on the SEL, when you step up to the SEL, you do get dual zone climate control, where you can independently adjust the temperature on each side, and you can sync them together. Let's see. You can sync both sides together if you want. You have your rear defroster, your different mode selectors right here. You've got your fan selector right there, and of course the background on this is that gloss black. So that's the other place where they're using gloss black in this vehicle. And we move up past these air vents. Moving up to the infotainment system. Now, this infotainment system is the floating variety, where it basically stands up on the dash. But they've done a pretty decent job of integrating it into the curves of the dash there. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay are standard on all trim levels. Now, when you've got your Android Auto connected by the USB cable, you can use your Google Maps right there on the screen. It is a very easy screen to see. And let's see, you can get to podcasts. You can get to all your apps this way. Maps. You can get driving directions. If you hit the radio button, there you are. Now, I should mention that Sirius XM satellite radio is standard on the SEL and above. However, you don't get this on the very basic model. You're only going to get your AM/FM and your media, but the satellite radio does come on the SEL, and also you can also get Bose speakers, Bose sound system, which is on the up level on the SEL Plus and up. You can get better speakers there. I like the idea that they do actually give you a couple of physical knobs as opposed to having a complete touch screen. However, on a limited model, You are going to get a 10.25-inch display, which is going to cover the entire area, and it's going to eliminate those buttons. So I kind of like this version better. Right here on the steering wheel, you've got on the right side, you've got your menu functions, which are going to scroll through your instrument panel menus. You've got your cruise control, your adaptive cruise control, your lane following. On this side, you've got your phone controls, your mode for your stereo, your voice-activated commands right there, and these the turn signal windshield wiper stalks on these are real nice design. And again, you've got your lights on the left-hand side. One thing that I will give a thumbs down to Hyundai for on this model is the push button start. The push button, to me, is not in the best location. Where is it? It's right here on the instrument panel, hidden by the steering wheel and potentially hidden by the stalk right there. Let's go around there. There you go. There it is right there. So I think that a better design would have it angled up a little bit. So I'm not particularly a fan of this style. I will give them a thumbs down for that. But the steering wheel in general is a nice design. It's got this aluminum trim down here. We're seeing the same steering wheel design come out in the Elantras and the Tucson models. The base model here is going to give you a urethane cover for the steering wheel, urethane covered, but the upper trim levels will give you a leather wrapped wheel, which is kind of nice. Moving in on your instrument panel, you do get your displays in the middle, your tire pressure monitor, digital speed, things like accumulated info, drive info, and drive mode. When you select your drive mode on the console, like we just went over, they'll show up right here. You can go custom, sport, normal, smart. So we'll leave it right there for sport. And attention level. This is your lane departure. It'll give you a warning if you're drifting from your lane, so it'll show that you're not paying attention. And so there's that, and all of your settings going down. Other settings are over here. Now, if you get the limited model and the SEL Plus, you can get a digital instrument panel, instrument cluster, which will give you a digital speedometer, digital tachometer, and that will allow for the use of additional cameras, which will be mounted in the outside rear view mirrors and will activate when you turn. They're blind spot cameras. This one doesn't have it, but when you get the digital instrument cluster, you'll have those blind spot cameras. Also, speaking of blind spots, I should mention that the base model does not have blind spot detection. This model, one step up from base, does have it. The SEL and above has it. But as far as your safety features, all these Sonata models are going to have all the other safety features, like your adaptive cruise control. You're going to have your lane following, and lane keep assist. Lane following will basically follow a curve in the road, and lane keep assist will warn you if you're drifting out of your lane and will slowly nudge you back toward the middle of your lane. So that's a good thing to have. And the adaptive cruise control is really useful, comes in really handy on the highway. All right, so now we're going out, now we're driving this 2021 Sonata SEL trim level. And the engine has really nice power, considering the size of the car, which is about weighs about 3,200 pounds, and you've got that 190 horsepower 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. We're going to be using the adaptive cruise control once we get on to once we merge on here. And these safety features are standard on all the Sonata models. Now, the adaptive cruise control will maintain a specific distance between the car in front of me. I've got it set for 61, but it's got me down to 58 because I was apparently too close to that car in front of me. And now it's back up to 61 again. So it is maintaining a specific distance. All the controls here are really easy to reach. Your steering wheel controls, very easy, very easy to one touch, to reach with one touch. The air conditioning controls, very nice. And same thing for the radio, but you do have a mode control right here on the steering wheel for your radio mode. Go ahead and turn that off. Also, the lane departure warning. Lane departure is, I feel it trying to nudge me back toward the middle a little bit. And the adaptive cruise control has set me back now to 48. I have not used the brake at all. That's cruise control doing that. We're going to get off over here. The adaptive cruise control will actually bring the car to a complete stop, maintaining a distance from the car in front of me. Now we're going to see that come up. Well, there is no car in front of me, so I will need to stop it by myself because I'm the first car here at the light. But it will do that. If there is a car in front of you, it will bring your car to a full stop. We'll go ahead and turn the cruise control off. All right. Good acceleration. And I'm in normal mode right now. I'm not in sport mode. You can go ahead and let's go ahead and put it in sport mode. There we go. Kind of take the back road back to our spot. But this is a really comfortable cockpit for the driver. I should also mention that the parking brake, the electronic parking brake control, is on the dashboard, underneath the dashboard. You pull it out to set, and you push it to release. Let's go ahead and get back a little bit. The auto hold function is also a neat thing as well. If you push that button, it'll say auto hold right there in your cluster. You can take your foot off the brake, and it will hold you at a light until you accelerate again when the auto hold is green. Okay, and now we're off. So that's another really cool feature. Another thing that's nice about the cockpit experience in the Hyundai Sonata is your visibility. You've got great visibility out the front, great visibility over the hood, the sides, visibility over the mirrors for turning is also very good, as is the visibility through the rear windows if you need to check your blind spot on the passenger side. But all in all, this car has a really well-refined ride on these 17-inch wheels, and it is quiet. Of course, when the road is quiet, this pavement is not the best, but I really like the ride. Very smooth, well-controlled, quiet ride. Perfect for a family sedan. All right, so that's a little bit of insight into this beautiful 2021 Hyundai Sonata. With all the different features we've gone over and all the different specs, and this being a lower equipped model, you're going to be asking yourself, well, that's great, but what is all this going to cost me if I want to get one? Would you believe sticker is only $27,000? That's it. And with discounts, you could probably easily get one for $25,000 or so. But $27,000 for all that you get here, that means what we're looking at here is a more or less of a basic model car, just one step up from basic, which really isn't going to break the bank. Really, it's far below the average price of a new car. And, of course, Hyundai has their 5-year, 60,000 mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, 5 years of roadside assistance, 3 years of service, extended powertrain warranties, all that coverage and everything. It's only $27,000. You can't go wrong. Of course, if you want the sunroof, leather, if you want the upgraded wheels and all the other features, the limited model is going to run you around 35, around mid-30s. If you want the absolute basic stripped down version, you can get one of those for around 25, maybe 23,000 on sale. So yeah, that's it. It's a good deal. So if you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you'll find out when I have my next video coming up. Thanks.